The new 34th ranked season has begun in the Land of Dawn, and you're confused about which heroes to pick, which to ban, and who the best hero for rank up if you play solo or duo. So, welcome back. We'll be looking at which heroes currently have the most impact on the battlefield and are the best to pick right now. In this video, I'll talk about them and give a few gameplay tips. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. You can also find me on other social media, so make sure to follow. Now, without further ado, let's get started. And the first broken hero is the fighter Phoveus. The hero's revamp has only improved him, and now his ultimate has no cooldown, making him easier to use. To activate his ultimate, you now need to stack Sinner's marks on the enemy by using his first and second skills along with his passive. Unlike before, when he was limited to an 8-yard radius and required a dash or blink from the enemy. Phoveus has high survivability, and he is excellent as a frontline hero in team fights, as he gains a shield from his passive and healing from his ultimate. He also holds his own in 1 versus 1 against any hero in the lane and can easily dominate. Cecilion is unquestionably one of the strongest mid laners in the game now. His mana growth per level has been increased, and the hero is back on the battlefield. Cecilion's mana is now conserved, allowing him to unleash more damage on his enemies in battle. It's not easy to send him back to base. He's got massive damage and healing from his ultimate, crowd control from his second skill, and a slowing from his skills. My advice, if you want to use Cecilion, choose the basic emblems for him, as they will help regenerate your mana and health faster. And of course, don't forget to increase your stacks by hitting creeps or heroes with all your skills. In the gold lane, a very useful hero right now is Claude. In the latest update, Claude's mana was completely removed, allowing you to use various emblems on him, which increases his damage. Claude is very mobile. With his second skill, he can easily dodge ganks or jump behind enemies. Use the first skill to hold stacks and boost your attack and movement speed. This hero is the perfect counterpick against a meta hero like Zask and will take down any hero with a lot of health points. You can see the build and emblems for Claude on the screen. Now, let's move to the jungle, where a great choice is Layla's father, the hero, Nolan. Nolan is a great jungler for several reasons. First and foremost, he can easily and quickly take out the main damage dealers on the opposing team, particularly mages, assassins, and marksmen. Nolan relies heavily on energy, so he definitely needs the blue buff. The more energy he has, the more dashes he can perform, allowing him to move faster across the map and control more objectives. If you play assassins, I recommend checking out this hero and practicing with him, as he can have a significant impact in the jungle. After the last update, not much has changed in jungle gameplay. Assassins like Hayabusa and Ling are still the most relevant and highly playable on the battlefield. Let's talk about Ling. When you use your ultimate, a circle appears on the ground, and the 4 markers on the circle indicate where your blades will be placed. To get to the next blade more effectively, it's better to jump a little to the side instead of directly on the blade. This way, you'll quickly collect all 4 blades. As for Hayabusa, it's important to know that to maximize your damage, you need to apply 4 stacks on the enemy, as each stack increases his damage by 5%. Stacks are applied to the enemy with basic attacks, and the first skill, while the jump using the second skill through shadows reduces the cooldown of the shurikens from the first skill. Ling and Hayabusa are very difficult heroes to play, and not everyone can perform well with them. So, if they are picked against you, I recommend using a counter pick, which is usually Saber. With his skill combo, Saber can completely destroy them, and unlike Ling and Hayabusa, he is much easier to play. Next up on our list is the hero Gatotkaca. He's a strong performer, both as a roamer and in the EXP lane. This hero is unstoppable. His high survivability and powerful magic damage are unparalleled, and his crowd control ability is a game changer. Enemies will be taunted into attacking him, preventing them from escaping. Gatotkaca is the best initiator for team fights and the best frontline fighter. He can join a fight with his ultimate skill or avoid being sent back to the base. It's as simple as that. After the latest update, one of the forgotten heroes has returned to the game, and that is the mage Alice. Right now, she's a good choice both for the X lane and the gold lane. The developers have increased her mana, making her incredible, as the effectiveness of her ultimate has improved with the increased mana, enhancing both her damage and survivability. With her first skill, she can easily escape from enemies or ganks, or she can catch up to them. And in combination with Angela, this duo is virtually unstoppable, and Alice once again justifies her title as the main antagonist in the Land of Dawn. Another unstoppable fighter for the XP lane, who many are now often using in the gold lane or as a roamer, is Ruby. Ruby has a lot of crowd control and high survivability, which makes her a very annoying enemy. Ruby has excellent sustain thanks to her abilities, which allow her to heal herself during battles. These qualities make Ruby a versatile and powerful choice in current meta. The hero is very easy to use, so with a bit of practice, you can effectively play her on the battlefield. You can see the build and emblems on the screen. Next, I'd like to highlight the hero Aurora for the mid lane. This mage is absolutely perfect. She has all the qualities needed for victory. Aurora has crowd control and slow effects from her skills, freezing abilities, as well as a unique passive effect that allows her to survive and not feed enemies with her deaths. I'd also like to pick out the amazing tank. It is Chip. He's the hero who often turns the tide of games. His ultimate lets him call the whole team to any spot on the map, and he can switch between lanes fast using his portals. This special ability lets him control the map and win games. If you know how to position yourself correctly and keep an eye on the map, you'll be extremely useful to your team. So, when choosing the hero Chip, you need to evaluate situations on the battlefield properly. Don't forget about his crowd control with the second skill and his passive ability, which heals his health. The hero is often banned because many find it difficult to counter him. I think you'll be surprised, but right now, a highly popular marksman in the gold lane is Wanwan, and yes, you heard that right. Wanwan really needs a nerf. After the changes to marksman mechanics and auto attacks, Wanwan moves much faster around the battlefield, making her really hard to catch. She also has crowd control immunity with her second skill and invulnerability during her ultimate. Plus, after the rework of Phoveus, she no longer has anyone to fear on the battlefield. So, do you think Wanwan needs a nerf or not? Please share your thoughts in the comments. I'm really interested to know if you think Wanwan is back in the meta or not. There are lots of heroes that are relevant and playable, so I've also included heroes that can be used on different lanes if the meta heroes are banned or if you don't enjoy playing with them. In the gold lane, heroes like Harith, Moskov, or Clint are still performing well. In the mid lane, heroes like Zask, Xavier, Juxin, Luoyi, Valentina, and Vexana are still relevant. In the XP lane, heroes like Khalid, Terizla, Minsithar, Cece, Arlott, and Edith are unstoppable. They deal a lot of damage and provide crowd control while also having high survivability. If you're playing in the jungle, a good choice would be Julian or the new hero Suyu. I also recommend trying out the forgotten hero Yi Sun Shin, who is also a strong choice for the jungler position. And lastly, let's not forget that there are many options for good tanks, including Carmilla, Kufra, Tigreal, Lolita, Beleric, and Hylos. I hope this video was helpful and not boring for you. And of course, thank you for watching the video until the end. Please leave your opinions in the comments about what you agree with or where I may have made mistakes. Good luck and low ping, and see you in the Land of Dawn.